Okay, I'm Sharon Martini, and I have Dotty Beetle Books, and little picture books, big in joy, full of joy and colorful characters for all humanity's children. I'm going to start my talk by telling you a story. I'm going to read you one of my stories. This book is called Max and Me, and it's a story about friendship. This is me. This is Max. Max and me are best friends. Max and me are cute. We love to make funny faces. Max and me have two hands. Mine are brown, his are pink. We use our hands to race cars and beat on bongo drums. Max and me have brown hair. Mine is curly, his is straight. Our mummies cut our hair. Ew. Max and me have knobbly knees. We have owies on them from climbing trees, scaling fences, and sliding on the floor. Max and me have bright eyes. Mine are brown, his are blue. We use our eyes to hunt bugs in the garden. Max and me have big feet. We use our feet to jump, dance, and kick soccer balls. Max and me have long arms. We use our arms to hug. I wrote this book. I had gone to pick up my son from preschool one day, and this little girl was looking at me the way only kids can look at you. I suddenly started thinking, okay, there's a booger. Spinach in my teeth, there's something wrong. This kid was sort of looking at me with this. And I finally said, I said, hello, and she said, are you Moses' mummy? And I said, yes. And she said, can I touch you? And my initial reaction was, oh. But then I breathed, and I let go, and I said, yes. Because I assumed I knew why she wanted to touch me, but maybe I didn't. So she then touched my arm, and then she touched her own arm. And then she closed her eyes and touched my arm and touched her own arm. And she skipped off down the corridor. And then when she got a little way down there, she stopped and she turned around. And this little girl had the biggest beam on her face. It was truly like she were lit up from within. She was just delighted, really. And I realized in that moment that I had been given a gift by letting go and opening to her curiosity, and that she had received a gift in my opening and giving her a gift. And she had realized skin is skin. It looks different on the exterior maybe, but it's all the same. This book, I went home that evening and came up with a draft and illustrations, and it was a process, but it was, what came out of it was, I think, in our times, in this era of multiculturalism, we sometimes forget that people, no matter their color or their culture, that they're inherently the same. And that little experience was just such a realization for me. And I think it also speaks to when we touch people, when we really do connect and touch, we don't realize what we're leaving behind. And that experience that that little girl had is now part of her DNA. And I think no matter where she goes or what experiences she has, or even what ideas or things she comes up against, that touch will always be a part of her DNA. And so this was the gift of that, which could have been, I could have just absolutely just been, no. And forevermore she'd be looking at me with that, but it was really a great experience, and this book came out of that. And when my kids were little, I was surrounded and immersed in children's literature, and I couldn't find anything really with just fun, whimsical drawings. If I found brown characters, they tended to be much more realistic, and so I decided I would write children's books and create my own. And that experience, that was the first book I wrote, and it was amazing how I opened to something, and the universe is always gifting us, I think. We just have to have the courage to receive. And so the other books, I'm not going to read the other ones, but I'll just tell you what they are. This one's Bugs, Bugs, Bugs. I Love Bugs. And it's about a little girl who loves her dresses and flowers and everything else, but she loves things creepy crawly. And that's Gwendolyn. And this one is Uh-oh, Where Did Baby Go? My kids did not like to go to sleep at night. So this is really the story of a game we played to get to go to sleep. Where did baby go? And then baby would, there's baby. Where do baby's fingers go? Take off the gloves, and sort of an undressing story until we, at the end, we say, oh, where did baby's eyes go? Shut tight, night, night. Baby's asleep. So that's that book. And so I have translated, actually, because I believe in getting these books and stories and the message that we're really all the same. We come in different shapes, sizes, colors, and we're really all the same. And my focus is on these contemporary stories. We're just doing things that people do. And I've had them translated into Spanish so that they're accessible also for even a wider population.